My mom wants nothing to do with me because I picked my dad during the divorce. Posted by u/tame_armadillo5607. I know it sounds bad, I have a lot of regrets, but everything was really hard after my 19F parents got divorced when I was 13. I had a happy childhood before then, and was closest with my mom. The divorce was harder on me than my older sister Penny, 21F, who kind of took it in stride. My mom moved out and into an apartment, and was just generally incredibly depressed. She drank a lot, and it was just a mess. We were 50-50, but the schedule they came up with was annoying because I'd have to switch houses like every 2 to 3 days, and I went to a private school, so I had uniforms, and I was always getting in trouble for leaving them at the other house or not having things. Then Mom moved 45 minutes away from my school. They gave my sister a car so that she would drive me to school, but I played sports and she didn't want to hang around for me after school. So I was always waiting around and would sometimes just end up at my dad's anyways. So I asked if I could stay with Dad on weekdays and Mom on weekends. My dad didn't want to only have me for school days, so I was with him one weekend and her the other 3. I thought it was awesome, but I could tell my mom seemed less, I don't know, fond of me. My sister was supposed to drive me, but again with sports, some weekends I'd call my mom to pick me up and she wouldn't be able to, and I was spending less time over there. I know she and Penny got much closer. Penny only came over to my dad's every other weekend by then, too. We got into a massive fight when I was a sophomore because I had a big semifinals for state and I was on varsity game and she didn't go because she was taking Penny prom dress shopping. I was dating a junior and going too, so I asked if we could all go another day, and she told me to ask my dad to take me. She had gotten me into sports and always went to my games, and I played horrible because I was so anxious about whether or not she'd come. She didn't. I felt like she'd forgotten about me and moved on, so I stopped going over to her house. We'd call and see each other on holidays and stuff, but I was hurt and she never apologized. I still obviously love her, and we get along good when we see each other. It's just not often. Lately I've been feeling really down. I lost a friend, and my dad's new girlfriend moved in, and I'm pretty sure she wants me to move out. Which is whatever, I'll figure it out, but it's more like she'll get mad if I don't clean, but when I do, she gets snippy and is like, "You're not your dad's wife." Now Mom is doing good. She got remarried about a year ago, and he has 2 kids who are like 10 and 12, Jake and Emma. They're all nice, but I obviously don't know them well. But anyways, before Christmas, my mom asked me if I would give one of my old American Girl dolls to Emma. It's not like an heirloom or anything, but it was my cousin's, and honestly, I don't know Emma very well. So I said no. It's not like they don't have money, and they still sell the dolls. I wasn't mean or anything, I just said I didn't want to. But I kept asking her about Christmas and when to be where, and she never really told me. I normally spend Christmas Eve with her, and she never told me what was going on. I texted her that day and asked when I could give her her gift, and she said she'd reach back out after the holidays. That hurt in a way I can't explain because she never, wouldn't take my calls or see me before. I guessed it was probably about the stupid doll and probably should have given her space, but I still texted her Happy New Year. Penny got super mad and drove out and yelled at me. She said that I had to stop bothering Mom when I broke her heart by picking Dad. I told her that wasn't true, and she told me they got divorced because Dad had an affair and that I was an idiot if I hadn't figured that out. Nobody had ever told me that, and Dad hadn't dated anyone that I knew about until recently. I got upset and told her to leave and didn't even give her my mom's present. I was so upset. I haven't told my dad yet, but I've been really upset about it. I feel like I never meant to hurt her, but I feel really bad. I don't know if I should reach out to her or if I should just leave well enough alone, like Penny told me to. I'm pretty sure she's moved on from me. She's posted pictures of her and her husband's kids with Penny, and I don't think she has space in her life for me anymore, and it's all my fault. /relevant comments. Commenter. Your mom is the one responsible for communicating things. If she's feeling resentful, it should be a conversation. But the fact she basically just stopped showing up suggests you couldn't win in this scenario anyway. She was the one with the burden to stay involved. You were a kid who needed your mom's presence and didn't get it. Ops response. I mean, I know I wasn't perfect. One Mother's Day, I had just gotten over COVID and was still super tired, and told her I didn't think I was up for a 1.5-hour round trip. She basically stopped calling after that, and I wish I had just sucked it up and gone. Commenter 2. Kid, and I say that because you were younger than my kids, you were a baby. You were a child, and your parents were divorcing. You were going through one of the most emotionally damaging events possible, and you didn't get support. Your mom dropped the ball here, and it wasn't your fault. You were a baby. 13 is a baby, 16 is a baby, hell, I'll call 19 a baby. Your parents wanted you, the non-driving baby, to deal with their house choices? Who the F does that to a baby? Ops response. I mean, I know I'm an adult now. My mom used to get fake mad when I'd say I was whatever age, and say that I'd always be her baby, but I know that's not true, ha ha ha. And my therapist says I need to start seeing things from other people's point of view now that I'm older. Commenter 3. Han, I don't think your therapist means for you to do what you're doing, which is taking responsibility for the actions of the adults around you. Yeah, your mom was depressed, angry, and probably trying to pick up the pieces of her life. She was also a long commute from your school and struggling to stay involved in your life. If I moved almost an hour away from my son's school, you bet your ass he'd be staying at his dad's during the week. I'm going to make a child commute an hour and a half each day? None of these are your fault, and there is nothing healthy that you could have done to assist her. Picking her in the divorce isn't a reasonable ask, even if it's a very human one on her part. Maybe consider having a conversation with her and lay this out. Receive what she has to say with an open mind. But do not take responsibility for her parenting in addition to yourself. She's the one with the supposedly fully developed limbic system and prefrontal cortex. Ops response. I can try that if she ever talks to me again. Commenter 4. You are the child, she is the adult. She made choices that gave you fewer choices, and those choices she left you were ones she was unhappy with. She is treating your relationship a bit like her drinking problem. She is not responsible, nothing is her fault, she'll do what feels good in the moment even if it's destructive, and she'll never communicate or work through her feelings like an adult. By the way, are you able to set a dad/daughter activity during which you can talk about all this? You haven't gotten good modeling for communication, but it's something to work on learning. Ops response. I haven't talked to my dad about all of this yet. If what Penny said is true, then I don't know what to do. My dad has always been there for me since the divorce, and if it's true, I don't know how to get past it. Up to another commenter. I haven't told my dad about his girlfriend. I know I'll be moving out soon, and I just wanted him to be happy. I haven't asked him about the affair because I'm kind of afraid of what the answer will be. He's been my rock for years, and I don't know what I would do without him. Like, he was there for all my high school milestones. I invited my mom, but she didn't come, and when I had my heart broken. I do feel like my mom replaced me with my stepsister. Both of my step-siblings were invited to the wedding, it was small, they eloped, and Emma was a bridesmaid, and I wasn't even there. I still had classes that week, but I don't know if I would have been invited if I hadn't. Commenter 5. You know, even if you did have an affair, being mad at him will just isolate you even more. I would ask for extra support, love, and tolerance from him right now. And definitely make sure he knows what you're going through with your mom's and Penny's rejection of you and how sick it is of them to want to make you pick either parent. What an awful position they're putting you in. You need at least one parent in your corner. Ops response. You're right. I'll talk to him about that and his girlfriend tonight. Commenter 6. You can be a good parent and a bad spouse, and vice versa. Your dad cheating on your mom doesn't excuse her from attending your sporting events and giving you adequate transportation so you can spend time with her. You are not responsible to bend over backwards so their custody arrangements work. They made a crappy plan, where their children had to do 100% of the work. And it failed. Your mom could have called your dad to find a better arrangement, but she didn't. I failed to see what you did wrong in all this. You did what was best for you with the info you had. Ops response. Him cheating on her does make more sense, which is why she wouldn't do things like go to games or graduation, etc., where he'd be. I just thought she was mad at me. Commenter 7. Yikes, I mentioned this in another comment, but I really think it's the case. Your mom hates your dad more than she loves you. She can't stomach the discomfort of being in his presence for an event celebrating you. Like, she could be on the opposite side of the room. Edit, I also find it a bit weird that she's complaining about you choosing dad while also choosing not to be there for important events you are having. Yet it was your father who was willing to take time to be there for you. He was willing to make sacrifices your mother chose not to. Edit 2, when your dad wasn't going to see you on weekends, he spoke up about how he wanted to be able to spend more time on the weekend with you. Your mother didn't do anything to compromise or make your life better. The best she did seems to be offload her responsibility onto your sister by getting her a car. Ops response. Penny said she wasn't there for certain things because it was too painful to be around my father. Commenter 7. Yeah, she couldn't get over her personal discomfort to support her own daughter. It's not your responsibility to manage your mother's comfort. It's her responsibility to be there for you. She is acting selfish as F. According to her actions, her comfort is more important than you are. She couldn't be happy for you as long as your father exists. That's really effed up. Edit, your mother is angry at your father for betraying her trust. Your mother has turned her back on you. She's doing to you a similar thing your father did to her in cheating, betraying the trust you put in them. Commenter 8. Why wasn't your sister reprimanded for not picking you up? Neither parent said anything? Look. I get it. Your mom failed you. But in my eyes, so did your dad. There is a lot of blame that he carries. Why didn't he make your sister wait for you? Or go back for you? Just like your mom. I can give you my family as an example. My mother was married to a man that was physically abusive, and he also cheated on her. When they got a divorce, we moved a county over. When it was my brother's time for custody with his father, sometimes my mom would drop him off to him. She went out of her way to ensure that my brother had a connection with his father. She knew how important that relationship was, and because she wanted what was best for my brother, she sacrificed and put him first. My mother's commitment was to her child and ensuring that she helped to cultivate that relationship because she knew how important dads are for kids. Your dad would pick you up from school, cause your designated driver, your sister, would leave you. And instead of taking you to your mom's, as it was her time with you, he took you back to his house. You genuinely don't see how he could have helped get your relationship back on track with your mom? No intervention? No trying to bridge the gap? We all agree that your mom sucks, but your dad is also an adult and could have done more to protect his daughter. He knew you needed your mommy. You are the victim here. Everyone owes you an apology. Sister included. Ops response. Yes, my dad stopped paying for her gas after she kept doing it, and my mom just started paying for the gas. She was already paying insurance. And Penny stopped coming to dad's, and my mom obviously didn't punish her at her house. I disagree about my dad. I don't think I would want to drop everything and drive for an hour and a half just because my older daughter didn't want to wait around, and my ex didn't feel like making the same trip. Then again, I would never make my kid be around a physically abusive person, even if they were their parent. My dad would offer to meet her halfway, but she never wanted to see him, and I don't think it's fair that he had to do all of that just so that she could see me when she could have driven, too. She's the one who decided to move so far away. Plus, it's not like she or Penny are doing anything to help fix that relationship, so I don't know why it has to all be on me and my dad. Like, all my friends' moms would die to hang out with their kid more, and that hurts. They'd drive hours, and my mom wouldn't drive an hour and a half. I don't know how that's on my dad. Update 2 weeks later. I talked to my parents. It wasn't fun. I confronted my dad about what my sister told me, and he admitted it was true. It was hard for me to hear because I had a boyfriend cheat on me a few months back, and my dad had been there for me. I also told him about what his girlfriend had been saying. He was upset about it and said he'd take care of it and talk to her. It seems like she's been nicer, but I don't know. I don't really trust her. My dad and I are okay, though. I'm still upset about what he did, but he could still be a good dad and not a good husband? It's kind of complicated. Like maybe his girlfriend deserves to be with him. That's mean. Unfortunately, stuff with my mom has been bad. We used to always go to the ballet at Christmas, it was our thing together. But a few years ago after the divorce, she said she didn't want to that year and just never asked me to go again. I asked a few times, but she always said she couldn't do it. But last week she made a post with her, Penny, and Emma, her stepdaughter that she wanted me to give the doll to. And obviously they were at the ballet. When I saw Penny the next day, I feel like she wanted me to ask about it, but I didn't. She asked me if I wanted to go in on Mom's birthday present, it's in a few weeks. I asked if I was going to be invited to her party or dinner, and she said that shouldn't matter, so I told her I'm not getting Mom anything for stuff I'm not invited to. I got her a Christmas present, and she didn't invite me over. I had gotten her a wedding present, and I wasn't invited. Penny told me they didn't want to invite me to the wedding because Mom didn't want me reporting anything back to my dad, so she could enjoy the wedding. She eloped in the Caribbean. That made me really upset, so I called my mom later and asked if it was true. She was annoyed, I could tell, and told me she'd meet me to talk, but I had to promise I'd listen. So I drove all the way out to talk to her, and she was going on about boundaries and how if I wanted her in my life, I had to respect them. And her boundaries are like I'd need to give her 3 days notice before seeing her and not ask the day of or before. And I'd have to invite Emma to anything we did and put effort into being a big sister to her, and I was so over it. I asked her again if the wedding thing was true, and she said that she just wanted to enjoy her wedding after everything. I never have ever gossiped with my parents about the other. Even when I knew they wanted to, I never did. And even if I did, my own mom cared more about her ex finding out about her wedding than having me there. I kind of lost it at that. I know it was wrong, but I couldn't help it. I've just been keeping things inside for so long and trying to get her to love me again, and it's pointless. She doesn't want me around, and I don't want to be around anyone that doesn't want me there. So I told her that, and I told her that I had no idea that Dad had an affair until Penny told me, but at this point I didn't blame him. She could have fun with my replacement, but it won't ever be the same because she's not her mom. She had a mom, and it's not her, and she'll always pick her mom over her. My friends' moms go out of their way to see their daughters, and I have to beg mine for scraps. I wish I had told her where to shove her boundaries, but I didn't have the juice to do that, haha. But I did tell her to forget that she ever had me and left. She called me a bunch, but I googled it, and since I'm 19, I'm allowed to block her number. So Penny and her husband have been calling and texting me, so I told them she needs to respect my boundaries. I think I'll be okay, but it's been hard. I have a therapist who helps me sometimes, but I think cutting my mom out will be good long term. I don't want to end up like her, and if Penny wants to cut me off for that, that's fine. My friends and I decided to get an apartment starting this summer. I think it'll be good for everyone. My dad was sad when I told him, but I need to start my life. Like, I know it's kinda BS because he'll be paying my rent, but we promised we'd get dinner at least twice a week. I know he did something bad, but I kinda meant what I said about not blaming him. And at least he's always been there for me, unlike her. /relevant comments. Commenter. I think your mom misdirected a lot of anger and resentment onto you that she never should have. To me, it sounds like she desperately needed some therapy. She kind of made her own bed when she shut you out of Christmas and her wedding. And it seems a lot of the things she did, prom dress shopping, not going to your semifinal, moving 45 minutes away, in the early years after the divorce were spiteful things aimed at you when she was mad at your dad. How were you supposed to know he cheated? I think if your dad's girlfriend is now at least respectful and not weirdly snippy with you, that's pretty good. Let him know if that changes, though. I think he does really love and care about you. I hope you enjoy and learn a lot of stuff getting into the independent life, sharing an apartment with your friends. It will be exciting to figure out where you want to go from here. Ops response. Honestly, at this point, I'm glad I didn't know he cheated. It definitely would have affected how I treated him. But at this point, I don't care, and like I said, I don't blame him for it. I would hate being married to my mom. Downloaded commenter 2. I don't think you should have totally cut off communication with your mother. Perhaps what you told her in your fury might have gotten to her. If you had heard her out, then you could have made the decision whether to go no contact or not. Ops response. I did listen to her. She wants me to put in all the effort, treat her with kid gloves, understand her feelings and emotions, and take care of her, while I am apparently just a piece of crap daughter who does not deserve to see my own mom whenever I want to. I don't accept that. It's her fault. She's dead to me. Commenter 3. What happened between your parents is between them and should not impact your relationship with your dad. He has proved time and again that he is a good parent. Your mother has proved time and again that she is a crap mom. Ice her out and match her energy, which is to treat you like you don't exist. I cannot believe she did not invite you to her wedding. That is ridiculous. Ops response. It was so hurtful. I knew they went on vacations without me and had gotten over that, but when I saw the pictures and realized they got married, I cried for like 2 days straight. I couldn't believe she had some girl who has a mom of her own there and not me. She definitely won't be invited to my wedding and will never meet my children when I have them. I don't care if she gets sick and asks to see me, she'll never see or talk to me again for the rest of her life. It's her own fault, and I can't feel bad about it. Up to another commenter. Well, she betrayed me, so I don't care what my dad did to her. I hope her new husband cheats on her, and everyone else she's ever with does too. Commenter 4. Your mom sounds very immature. Your dad sounds like he ruined the marriage, and it's fine for your mom to resent him, and it's fine for her to feel like you should be understanding of the situation as much as a child can be. However, resenting you and treating you poorly without understanding what this is like for you is BS, and she should talk to a therapist about it, possibly with you. Ops response. No, my views on all of this have changed drastically. I mentioned in my post that I've been cheated on. I'm sure it's different when you're married with kids, but it didn't make me completely fall apart, and it sure as hell didn't make me neglect my dog, so my mom is pathetic for letting it destroy our relationship. She's just a coward who wants to be coddled. She needs to grow up, and stop calling and trying to apologize to me, and understand that I've given her enough chances over the years to step up or even try. If she wants to replace me with some kid she met a few years ago that all of her family thinks is bratty and annoying, she can be my guest. Because I've shut that door, and none of her groveling or guilting are going to work on me this time. Maybe in a few years I'll change my mind and let her try to be back in my life, but the realization that all of this was over cheating has put it in perspective for me. She simply chose herself and her feelings over her job of being a mom. I'm not wasting my time doing therapy with her when there's nothing wrong with me. I have a therapist I see occasionally when I need it. She's welcome to get her own, but I don't care anymore. Editor's note. Ob's last post was made on January 16, 2026, and she has since deleted her account.